time relating to my son, Hamlet.
And why do you think that is?
I don't really know. His behavior lately, he treats me differently ever since I married Claudius. I mean, Claudius is his uncle and all, but we did rush into marriage
And how do you think this hasty marriage made Hamlet feel?
pretty upset because he used to confide in me, but he isn't making any sense. He seems as if he almost lost his mind.
I see. Do you blame yourself for what's happened to your son?
Partially. I think that all this change must indeed be hard on him. He loved his father, the good King Hamlet. May he rest in peace.
Is there anything else that could be bothering Hamlet?
Nothing that I'm aware of. Like I said, I hardly recognize my son anymore. He certainly doesn't confide in me.
Are there any other concerns you'd like to bring up?
Well, now that you mention it, Claudius has been acting a little bizarre lately. Whenever I enter a room, he stops his conversations. And also, he has this concerned look upon his face, and whenever I ask him about it, he just says I shouldn't be worried about it.
And have you tried opening up to him and telling him how distraught you are?
Yes, but he just commands me around these days. He doesn't even listen to me.
Well, Gertrude, it sounds like you would really benefit from some family therapy. I have appointments available for 1 week from today. Hello and welcome. How is everybody doing today?
I'm doing
Could
just
be better.
fine.
Okay, well, let's start with you first, Gertrude. What is the cause of your visit today?
Well, it isn't anything major. It's just that my son has been acting quite strangely.
Acting? You think that I'm acting, Mother? Acting as if I'm pretending? How preposterous of an accusation. Why acting would imply that...
Now, Hamlet, it was your mother's turn to talk. You must respect one another, and that of course involves listening to each other.
I don't respect anything about her anymore.
What was that, Hamlet?
Let me ask you a question, Doc. How do you feel about incest?
Are you referring to your mother and your uncle's marriage?
To think that villain wears the great King Hamlet's crown and lays in his bed?
Hamlet!
What, Mother? Do you believe you were being noble or rash by marrying that man? Only months after my father's death, then to remarry none other than his own brother? It's disgusting. I'm disgusted to be associated with this family.
Oh, Hamlet, surely you don't mean that.
You allowed that impostor to steal the crown and take you as his bride. What you did was unforgivable.
Hamlet, come back!
Ophelia, your brother signed you up for this therapy session today because he's been really concerned about you lately. Can you tell me what's going on in your mind?
I've lost everything. I have nothing. Nobody loves me anymore. I'm constantly being told what to do, and nothing ever works out for me. First, Hamlet sends me gifts and sneaks over my house, and then my father tells me I can't see him anymore, and then Hamlet tells me he's never left me, and I had to return all of his gifts, and I did, and then Hamlet killed my father, and oh, my poor father, my life isn't working out anymore.
Here, take a tissue. Now, Ophelia, slow down. First, we're going to discuss the matter of your relationship with Hamlet. You loved him, did you not?
Oh, yes. Yes, he was the truest of my love.
And then, how did it make you feel when your father forbid you from dating him?
Oh, it was miserable. But my father knows best. And I should have listened to him. Oh, I knew Hamlet was the bad man. I truly did. If only I'd listened, only if I'd known.
But you did love him, did you not?
Yes. Oh, yes. Of course. But then he betrayed me. And he went and murdered my father.
What initially changed your mind about him? Hamlet, that is.
It was when he confronted me that one time. He scared me. He constantly insulted me and told me to go to a nunnery. A nunnery. And he accused me of doing only what my father told me to do. And
Do you think Hamlet could have been just in his argument?
well, no, well, maybe. My father's the one who arranged this meeting and told me to give back his gifts, and
I'm useless. I'm worthless. I just...
Ophelia, you can't let these men control your life. You must define yourself on your own terms. It is possible that Hamlet was taking up his pent-up anger on you. He has a history of anger problems, you know. You certainly are not to blame.
But my father, he's gone.
I know it's hard initially, but you can get past this. You can endure. Well, let's get right to it. How long have the two of you been dating?
We're dating, as in past tense.
Oh, so are you two taking a break right now?
Ask her. She's the one who ended down with Blue for no reason other than Daddy told me to.
So, Ophelia, what prompted these feelings?
Well, I mean, my father did play a part in that.
What a fishmonger.
I always thought Hamlet was a perfect gentleman, studious and intelligent, and then he changed so drastically, and he treats me different now. And he, for example, the other day when we were at the movies, he wouldn't stop making crude remarks and making inappropriate suggestions in public.
Hamlet, is this true?
I lost all hope for the female kind.
Why is that?
If even the ones closest to you betray you and are dishonest, who are you to trust? You can love them indefinitely, however, they will only do good in one place, a nunnery.
Are you implying what I think you're implying?
Okay, let's just calm down for a second.
They drive you to madness, Doc.
Here, take your sweatshirt back. Never liked it anyway.
Whatever. I should have seen it coming. First my mother, then my girlfriend.
Hello there, Hamlet. How are you doing?
I'm wonderfully horrid. Why do you think that I'm here? I didn't come for the snacks.
Why did you come then? You came of your own free will, of course.
Yes. I came of my own free will, if that's what you prefer to call it. A man at the age of 30 should have his own free will, should he not? However, perhaps he was heavily persuaded to talk to a shrink because of his deteriorating mental faculties.
Of course, Hamlet. You do seem bitter. Would you like to explain your feelings to me?
Sure. I'm more than bitter. I'm thoroughly disgusted by my mother and that scum she calls a husband. I want to crawl out of my skin when I think of them together in my father's bed. I'm supposed to be the most important person in her life, and she chose him over me.
Pardon me, but I am a bit confused. Do you think that Claudius is taking attention away from you, and that's why you're having these feelings of anger?
Well, that's completely beside the point. He's a murdering, incestual scoundrel who doesn't deserve to marry my mother, much less be able to hanky-panky with her, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I do understand, Hamlet. Perhaps you should calm down, and we can talk about something else for a while. Can you tell me about your friend Ophelia?
She was more than my friend. Ophelia was my lover, and I thought that she was someone very special in my life. I might have even No. I was wrong about her. She didn't love me. She gave back all of my letters and flowers. She didn't care about me.
Are you sure it was because she didn't care? There may have been other external factors.
That could be true, Doc, but it's too late now. I'm not going to waste any of my time with someone who doesn't love me.
Is that why you told her to go to a nunnery?
Yeah. If I can't have her, then I don't want anybody to. She should go to a nunnery and make an honest woman of herself.
Found interesting and troubling results from my clients. Gertrude, Hamlet, and Ophelia are all a bit unstable in their current predicaments. Gertrude feels guilty for remarrying so close to the death of her husband. She thinks that she is to blame for Hamlet's recent behavior. Also, she is mistreated by her new husband on a daily basis. Claudius doesn't respect her and is constantly commanding her what to do. Hamlet is becoming more and more unbalanced every day. He has to deal with the death of his father, his mother remarrying his uncle, and getting rejected by, what I believe was, the love of his life. He has an Oedipus complex toward his mother. He is jealous of Claudius because he unconsciously longs to be with his mom. Hamlet is cruel to Ophelia because she pushed him away, and he doesn't want to experience heartbreak from her again, so he will distance himself. Ophelia is bullied by all the men in her life, and she does not feel she is worthy to follow her own thoughts and opinions. She is also distraught over her father's death and confused by her love for Hamlet, because he was the murderer. I suggest that Gertrude tries to slow down the relationship with Claudius until Hamlet is more comfortable with the situation. Hamlet needs to come to terms with his father's death and move on from Ophelia so he can live a prosperous life. Ophelia seems to be on the edge of her mental stability, and I advise that she continues to meet with me until I see noticeable improvement.